Jonathan Ross called me up saying a friend of his had an idea for a new concept for a superhero, and should he pitch it to me or Marvel? And I said, well, I'd love to have a crack. When I sat down with Mark, he basically told me, I think the first 5 issues, what was going to happen. So I had the big beats already laid out, and then I just sat down and structured it as a movie, and then added some stuff, took away things, changed the order, put a bit more emotional content into it. For me, it was the perfect way of deconstructing and repositioning and pushing forward the superhero genre. What I felt was Hollywood had clung on to what they thought the genre it was all about, which the way they were doing it was right for the 90s, but now it was time to move on. Everything that I felt would be fresh and different scared them, and understandably, the idea of an 11-year-old assassin with a filthy mouth, they were like, no way would we ever let that happen. I normally know within 20 seconds if someone walks in if they're probably going to get the part, and then after one take, then you really know if they're going to, when someone comes in, if I do this, then I know they're physically, they've got everything I'm looking for, and then it's whether they can act or not. And as soon as Aaron had done his audition, I was just I knew I'd found my man. Introduced himself to me as an American, so I had no idea he was British, which I had a heart attack at the end of the audition when he slipped back into his English accent. I was like, wow, okay. But secondly, he just knew how to play a teenager and how to play vulnerable and sweet, and then he could dial it up and be tough. He could do comedy, he could do drama, he can do it all. Every time she come on set for the first to meet a new actor, the actors would be like, okay, you're right, are you ready? And then you hear action, and suddenly the actors are like, oh my god, this girl is blowing me off the screen right now, and I'm going to stop treating her like a baby, and she made every actor raise their game. She's a natural. She has a maturity about her which is ridiculous, but she still has retained an innocence, and she's still an innocent girl. But when her acting technique is as good as anyone, and I've worked with some of the best actors in the world now. She's as good as any of them. Nick came because I know he's a huge comic book fan. I mean, massive. I think he's got a $3 million collection of comics, and that he knows everything there is to know about that world. And I decided I only really wanted people involved who really loved comics and superheroes, so that we could all together create something new and bounce off each other and have fun and be brave and just push those boundaries in a way that was organic and not just trying to push a boundary for the sake of it. Just say, God, we've always thought it would be cool if this happened in a comic. And when Nick came in, his ideas were brilliant, and I think it's one of his best performances in a long time. The Mistmobile is McLovin's idea of what car he should have had made to get laid. Kickass's weapons were 2 sticks that he's put some tennis grip around and hits people with it, so they're not exactly state of the art. Big Daddy has some pretty cool stuff. I mean, his apartment was full of every weapon known to me. We literally went to I don't know what they're called, the armourers in England, and I just said, I want one of everything, please. And they thought I was insane, and just stuck it on the wall. And he has everything from every type of ninja weapon to bazookas to crossbows to. We just said he has to have every type of weapon he could get his hands on. I couldn't write a script without Jane, to be blunt. She basically rewrites, I'd say, 70% of what I've written, in the sense makes it so people can actually read it. We are a small British independent movie, which is, you'd never think, when you watch the movie, you just go, how can this be a British independent film? Because when you watch it, it couldn't be more American big budget film.